Meanwhile, the Nigerian Bar Association has instructed its branch in Kano State to seek out the identity of the senior lawyer who allegedly sought to bribe the chairman of the governorship tribunal, Justice Flora Azinge. Information reaching Arise News indicates that the NBA president, Yakubu Mikiao, has reached out to the Kano State NBA branch to get further information and begin investigation for possible sanctions over professional misconduct. Justice Flora Azinge had expressed anger over attempts by an unnamed senior advocate of Nigeria to bribe her. Speaking in open court before the commencement of a tribunal session in Kano, the judge said senior lawyers particularly engage in the unethical practice. We're joined now by the National Publicity Secretary of the Nigeria Bar Association, Lawal Habeeb. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsnight. Well, this is quite troubling, especially for those who read a book called The Incorruptible Judge. I'm sure those who, read such books in secondary school would be amazed at what the revelations we're getting now, that there are attempts, and most likely, this is not peculiar to Kano. How bad really is this in the judiciary? Attempts to bribe judges?
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me this evening, and thank you, Nigerians. The situation is actually quite profound, and as a bar, the leadership of the Nigerian Bar Association is concerned by that allegation. That allegation is not coming from the social media, it's not coming from a newsstand, it's coming from inside the court by a judge of repute. Incidentally, Justice Azinge sits here in Asaba, where I am at present, and she is one of the shining lights in the judiciary. And because we trust what she has said, we believe her being a judge of high repute, and that is why the leadership of the Nigerian Bar Association, led by the president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Mr. Yakubu Mikiao, immediately swing into action, and we have directed the Kano branch of the Nigerian Bar Association to reach out to my lord to get further details and particulars of any lawyer who has done this, who has committed this act. While at that, we also have to ensure that this still remains allegation, notwithstanding the fact that it is coming from a judge. So until we have those further details, it might be too hasty for us to assume anything at the moment. But we are swinging into action, and we can assure Nigerians that anybody who is found culpable, any lawyer, any legal practitioner who is found culpable in this act will be surely punished. The Nigerian Bar Association, and by extension the legal profession, is a profession that we pride ourselves as being self-regulatory, and many lawyers have been disciplined for this act, and this we will not stop in doing this. And as a bar, we are committed to ensuring that the bad eggs that we can determine after going through all the process amongst us are weeded out, because the independence of the judiciary and of course of the legal profession and the sanctity of this profession is very, very important for the progress and for the benefits of Nigeria. Thank you.
Interesting. But Lawal, does it bother you that when you talk about the different arms of government, the executive, the legislative, and of course the judiciary, does it bother you that allegations like this can weaken the strength of the judiciary?
Of course, it is bothersome. It should bother every Nigerian. But of course, because this is our constituency in particular, it bothers us. But it's also very important for us to understand and appreciate that narrative that all lawyers are not corrupt. In fact, many lawyers stand for the rule of law and for the right thing, for justice. And so are our judges. And that is why we are strong about this. That is why we are serious about this. And that is why when such allegation occurs, I mean, it can happen in other professions, and probably everybody just keep quiet and they say it's a Nigerian thing. But for us as a profession that stands on the rule of law and justice, when even a mere allegation, wherever it comes from, we take it serious and we ensure that we get to the root of it without wasting time. And that is why we are doing this. Yes, it is bothersome, but I can assure you too that we have thousands of Nigerian lawyers who are truthful. We have thousands of judges who are doing their job of justice and who are doing the right thing. So when we have bad eggs, the duty is for us to wheel them out and not to be so, to wheel them out without wasting time. That's it.
Nigerians are yet to see, some of these bad eggs really weeded out. I mean, it's not the first time we're hearing of such, situations. Some would actually say that there's a collusion between the bar and the bench, and the lawyers actually know the judges that they can actually approach to make such unwholesome offers. And this judge here actually says, look, money is flying everywhere. Now, what are the sanctions really available to be carried out where you find lawyers or judges, complicit?
Like I said, I would disagree with you that the bad eggs are not being welded out. They are being welded out daily. As a bar, every now and again, we have, like I said, the legal profession is quite self-regulatory, and our disciplinary procedure and measures are out there for Nigerian public to know. And we are committed to ensuring that many members of the public know how they can deal with erring judicial officers and, of course, erring lawyers too. One of the disciplinary measures that exists, just to answer your question, is that when you petition the Nigerian Bar Association on issues like this, we will petition the Legal Practitioner Disciplinary Committee, and then the lawyer will go through the trial, and if the lawyer is found culpable, the lawyer can be struck out of the role. That means the person stops being a lawyer. And like the NBA president would say, the person can go ahead and do whatever he wants. But however, where crime is committed, we don't even stop at that. We even go further to do what? To ensure that we will report such lawyers to the to the appropriate agency of the government. I will give you an instance of the efforts we are making in this regard. It is still not, there is no conviction yet, but you would recall the issue of this Adamawa resident electoral commissioner of INEC, who declared election, which has been alleged, of course, not to be within his powers to do. The NBA has already petitioned him to the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee. This is what we do. So on our own, we even go out to fish that evidence, and when we establish that a prima facie case has been established, we have a Legal Practitioner Disciplinary Committee set up by the law, that's the Legal Practitioners Act, and we report this thing, and the lawyer goes through this fair trial. And when the lawyer is found to have done the wrong thing, the lawyer's name is struck off of the roll, and then the lawyer is punished accordingly. In some cases, we have suspension. There are so many lawyers that are on suspension, so many people that used to be lawyers that are no longer lawyers now because their names have been struck off the roll. So we do this daily. The law reports in Nigeria are replete with cases of such lawyers. But like I told you earlier, we have thousands of lawyers. These are just very few, and they do not dictate and they do not represent what the Nigerian lawyers stand for. The Nigerian lawyers stand for justice and truth.
Thank you very much indeed, Lawal Habeeb, National Publicity Secretary of the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA. Thank you for joining us on Newsnight.